Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me today to discuss a topic of paramount importance in our interconnected world: individuality in a global community, or as I like to call it, accentuating our accent. In an era defined by unprecedented technological advancements and globalization of information, it's quite easy to become ensnared in the uniformity of thought and behavior. But as we navigate this brave new world, it's imperative that we cherish and nurture our individuality, for it's the bedrock of true progress and societal harmony. As we embrace the benefits of a global community, there is a genuine risk of homogenization, where personal and cultural identities blur into a monotonous sameness. Yet, it's our distinct characteristics, talents, ideas, and perspectives that have powered the most remarkable advancements in art, society, and technology. Individuality is the wellspring of innovation, diversity, and creativity. So let's embark on this journey together as we discuss the significance of safeguarding individuality, not just for our own sake, but for the betterment of the global society. Now, on a slightly more informal note, individuality in a global community. That sounds like a lot. And to be honest, it is. It can range from the simplest yet extremely complex concepts such as gender and nationality to something extremely wide such as, I don't know, artificial intelligence. But today, I want to keep this as personalized as possible and really take you through the plethora of experiences I have had and really immerse you as the audience in the roller coaster of emotions I have felt, discovering who I am, where I'm from, and my little bit of advice for the people out there struggling with who they are. Now, just a little bit about who I am. I'm Madhav Duggal, and a little more than a year and a half ago, I made an extremely impulsive decision to leave my home country, India, in hope for a new challenge here at Rossall. And the truth is, it's one of the best decisions I ever made. But in all honesty, it's not always rainbows and butterflies, if that's the correct idiom. You see, I arrived as one of the only native Indians and felt, well, slightly out of place. Even from one of the most fast-moving cities in the world, New Delhi, everything around me seemed to move at a million miles an hour. You see, something I pride myself on immensely are my social skills. I'd like to think you could put me in a room with 10 different people I've never met before. By the end of the day, I would have formed a personal connection with each and every one of them. Now, I'm from an area which is homogenized. Everyone who lived there is from there. Everyone has brown skin and speaks the same language. I had never been exposed to so many nationalities before. And all of a sudden, I was going to be living with people from every inch and corner of the world. It was overwhelming, to say the least. But at least the switch served as the perfect opportunity for me to flaunt these social skills I've been boasting about. But in my arrival here, not just to Rossall, but in England, I realized that it wasn't me who felt the cultural shock. It was the people around me. You see, there was a very obviously preconceived notion of a stereotypical Indian. And the people here were surprised by me. I didn't have an extremely thick Indian accent, I didn't roll my R's, and I didn't have gel in my hair. There were many reasons for this. I came from an English medium school, spoke in English with most of my friends and family, and my family, you could say, are relatively modern. Even then, there were many cultural differences between me and the British European people here at Rossall. I had full-time house help, chauffeurs, and my sister and cousins continued living with their parents well past their 20s. This isn't me trying to boast, I'm just simply telling you the norm. But you know what I realized? This was perfect. This is exactly what I came to this country for: to learn, to embrace. And I did. I saw the world from a completely different perspective, one I had never seen before. I'm sure many of you have traveled abroad. And when there, have you been completely amazed by their unique culture? Let's have a show of hands. You see, that's exactly how I felt. I had so much to learn. We all have so much to learn from one another. But there was still something bothering me. It became very clear that the Indian accent was viewed as inferior, funnier, looked down upon. And this infuriated me. I'm not sure if that's the correct word, but I was angry, frustrated, and confused. Why is a French accent considered sexy, welcomed, fascinating for some, while us Southeast Asians are mocked, ridiculed, And this is just me speaking from personal experience. Each accent reflects diversity and cultural backgrounds. They should never be deemed inferior or superior. Each accent encapsulates one's history, heritage, and upbringing. Valuing one accent over another just perpetuates unfair biases and undermines the true essence of linguistic diversity. Now, I was scared of being mocked, judged, not being taken seriously because of my accent, and felt, well, insecure. This insecurity eventually led me to adopt a British accent, different to one in which I would speak to my friends and family back home in India. And it was tiring. I didn't feel the same and felt a great deal of guilt. My entire life, I had never thought about the way I spoke, let alone what I said. Now, I continue not to think about what I say, but I sure put a lot of effort into the way I say it. You know what I realized? It's part of who I am. It's what makes me me. And this leads me to a much bigger picture and also towards the end of my speech. What makes me me? And what makes you you? We're all different, a different masterpiece, painted with emotions, dreams, talents. Yes, of course, we have our flaws. Every masterpiece does. And of course, we're going to be different. None of us are the same. But that shouldn't pull us apart. Rather, it should bring us together. Something we should have a laugh about, bond over. In a world I feel lacks individuality, go out there and be yourself. I promise something good will come from it. Not just for you, but for the people around you. Dhanyavad, shukriya, and thank you.